Final speaker tonight is one who probably has more direct knowledge of the condition of the schools than Deb Cross as a teacher, and knows the problems that both she as a teacher and her students experience, and has agreed to come and share with us some of those day-to-day issues.
Thank you, Joel. I have been a teacher in the 1930s portion of the middle school for 9 years, and I think the overwhelming thing that I can say to you is that everything bad that you have heard about the schools, they are that bad, and in fact they are worse. I am very concerned about the condition of the schools. I'm a taxpayer and a resident of Cape Elizabeth. I'm also the parent of 2 preschool children, and I am extremely concerned about the learning environment and also the safety of the schools. To give you a really good example of just how much the temperatures can fluctuate, in a 6th grade classroom last year, Steve Conley came in on a Monday morning and his aquarium was frozen. So we're not talking about just being a little bit uncomfortable and maybe being in the low 60s. We're talking about a classroom that is freezing and where kids had gloves on for several days until they could fix that problem. There's a classroom right above me where every winter, and I don't expect it to be much different this winter, on one side of the classroom the kids are in their coats because of the air coming in through the window walls or through the windows, and on the other side of the classroom where they're near the heater, the kids are in t-shirts and they're saying, can we open more windows, or can we open a window, I should say. The safety issue to me is overwhelming. An issue that, or an incident that happened 7 years ago in Bruce Lynn's classroom, which again is right above me in the 1930s building. An entire 15 to 18 foot fluorescent light bank came crashing down, the entire thing, 15 feet of these heavy metal fluorescent light bank. No reason at all, no expectation that this was going to happen. Fortunately, it came crashing down in a portion of the room where Mr. Lynn did not have students at the time. Had it come down 10 to 15 minutes later, there would have been 5 to 8 students working there in a reading group. And I just, when I think of the weight and the sharp edges of these old kind of fluorescent lights with those fins, metal fins, you could imagine that. It is very frightening, and that isn't an issue where you can say, well, it was poorly maintained, and no one had any idea that something like this would occur. And I have an entire pad here of little stories of what it's like to be in the middle school. So I just, I can repeat, as someone who works there every day, as someone who is a taxpayer and someone who has children coming up into the schools, I just can't emphasize enough in what poor condition these buildings are in. Thanks.
Thanks, Deb. This is a terrific opportunity for the citizens of Cape Elizabeth to ask the questions they have with this assembled group, and I would encourage you to come.